Welcome, everyone. If you're preparing for a software testing interview, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll go through some of the most commonly asked interview questions, why they're important, and how to answer them effectively. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of what interviewers are looking for and how to respond with confidence. Let's get started. Question 1. Tell me about yourself. This is usually the first question in any interview, and it's your chance to set the stage with a strong first impression. Let's discuss the answer for both experienced testers and freshers. So if you are an experienced tester, here's how you can answer it. I am a passionate software tester with X years of experience in manual and automation testing. My expertise includes functional, regression, API, and UI testing. I have hands-on experience with Selenium, TestNG, and Postman for automation and API testing. I've worked in agile teams, collaborating closely with developers and product owners to ensure high-quality software. But what excites me the most? Finding issues before users do. I enjoy optimizing test strategies, improving automation, and constantly learning new techniques to stay ahead in the industry. Now, if you are a newcomer, fresher, or transitioning from a non-IT background, your response should focus on your training, transferable skills, and enthusiasm for testing. Here's how you can introduce yourself. I am a motivated and detail-oriented individual looking to start my career in software testing. Recently, I completed a comprehensive training program in manual and automation testing, where I gained hands-on experience with tools like Selenium, Jira, and Postman. During my training, I worked on real-world projects, writing and executing test cases, performing functional and regression testing, and reporting defects in Jira. But what excites me the most about software testing is the challenge of identifying issues before they reach users, ensuring high-quality software, and continuously improving testing strategies. I am eager to apply my problem-solving skills and keen attention to detail to contribute effectively to a team. Why are the answers strong? First, they highlight technical expertise, for experienced testers, and transferable skills, for newcomers. They express enthusiasm and passion for software testing. They demonstrate an understanding of agile and practical testing workflows. Tip for newcomers: if you don't have real-world experience yet, focus on projects you've worked on during training, your problem-solving approach, and how you've practiced testing concepts in a structured way. Now, question 2. Tell me about your current project. This question helps interviewers assess how well you understand your role and contributions to a project. So a strong response would be, currently, I am working on project name, which is an e-commerce project. So here what you can do is replace the project name and domain that you worked on. Then next you will mention your key responsibilities in project, like writing and executing test cases for functional, UI, and API testing. I worked on automating test cases using Selenium with Java or Python, whichever programming you chose, and integrating them into a CI/CD pipeline. Identifying, logging, and tracking defects in Jira until they are resolved. Actively participating in daily stand-ups, sprint planning, and retrospectives within an agile team. Why is this answer strong? First, it highlights real-world experience with projects. And it shows understanding of agile methodologies. It also demonstrates collaboration and problem-solving skills. Now, question 3. What types of testing have you performed? Let's discuss the answer for both experienced testers and freshers. So, let's start with experienced testers first. If you have experience in testing, here's how you can structure your response. Tip: in interviews, mention only the testing types you've actually worked on. In this video, we'll cover all of them for a better understanding. First, functional testing. This is the foundation of software testing. Before anything else, I ensure that the application's features work exactly as intended, aligning with business requirements. I write and execute test cases to verify expected behaviors and identify defects. Then comes regression testing, which plays a crucial role whenever new changes or bug fixes are introduced. I conduct regression testing to ensure that these updates don't break existing functionality. This is essential for maintaining application stability over time. Thereafter, UI testing becomes important, as user experience is key to software success. I test the application's UI across different devices and browsers to ensure consistency, accessibility, and responsiveness. I verify that elements are aligned correctly, interact as expected, and adapt well to different screen sizes. My project relies heavily on APIs, so I used Postman and Rest Assured to validate API request and response handling. This includes testing authentication mechanisms, response codes, and error scenarios to ensure smooth data exchange between front-end and back-end. Then comes performance testing, because an application must not only function correctly but also handle real-world user loads efficiently. Using JMeter, I analyze how the system behaves under different levels of load. This helps identify bottlenecks and ensures that the application performs optimally under high traffic conditions. Thereafter, security testing is essential to identify and mitigate security vulnerabilities. I conduct security assessments to check for risks like SQL injection, weak authentication, and unauthorized access, ensuring that sensitive data is protected from cyber threats. Finally, I work on automation testing, which significantly improves testing efficiency. I use Selenium and TestNG to automate repetitive test scenarios, integrating them into the C/CD pipeline for continuous testing. This helps accelerate the testing cycle and provides faster feedback on application stability. Well, each of these testing types plays a crucial role in delivering high-quality software. Depending on the project's needs, I customize my testing strategy to maximize coverage and maintain product stability. Now, let's talk about freshers. If you're new to software testing, here's how you can frame your response. As someone who recently completed hands-on training in software testing, I've worked with multiple testing types through real-world projects like e-commerce applications and practical exercises. Here's how I've applied these concepts. First, functional testing. My journey started with understanding the fundamentals of software testing. I learned to write and execute test cases to verify that application features met business requirements. This helped me understand how to systematically check whether software behaves as expected. Then, regression testing became important. During my training, I practiced retesting applications after bug fixes to confirm that the new changes didn't break existing functionality. This reinforced the importance of thorough verification after updates. Thereafter, I focused on UI testing, ensuring that applications looked and functioned correctly across different devices and browsers. I tested for proper element alignment, responsiveness, and usability across various screen sizes. Next is API testing. Using Postman, I validated REST API requests and responses, checked status codes, and ensured proper back-end communication. Then, I explored performance testing to understand how applications handle different levels of user load. I used JMeter to simulate multiple users accessing the system at the same time, which helped me analyze system behavior under stress. Thereafter, I gained exposure to security testing, where I learned how to identify basic security vulnerabilities like testing login authentication and ensuring restricted access controls were properly implemented. Finally, I practiced automation testing, where I wrote basic Selenium WebDriver scripts to automate test cases. This introduced me to how automation speeds up testing workflows and reduces manual effort. Alright, let's talk about tips. For experienced testers, highlight your real-world experience and how you've applied different testing types in actual projects. For freshers, emphasize your hands-on training, real-world project experience, and the tools you've used to build your testing foundation. No matter your experience level, the key is to communicate clearly, confidently, and in a structured way during interviews. Alright, let's discuss next one. How do you handle defects? In any software development process, defects are inevitable. However, what truly matters is how efficiently they are identified, reported, and tracked to ensure a smooth resolution. Here's how I handle defect management in a structured and methodical way. First, identify and document the defect. The first step is to clearly identify the issue and document all necessary details in a defect tracking tool like Jira. I make sure to include detailed reproduction steps to help developers replicate the issue easily, logs, screenshots, and environment details to provide clarity and aid debugging. Once the defect is logged, the next step is to assess its impact. Thereafter, classify severity and priority. Every defect is different, so I determine: first, severity, how much impact does this defect have on the system? Critical, major, minor. Then priority, how urgently does it need to be fixed? High, medium, low. After classifying the defect, the next step is to collaborate with developers for resolution. Then, communicate with developers. I ensure developers have all the necessary information for debugging. If needed, I reproduce the issue in front of them to provide clarity. Share additional logs and screenshots to speed up resolution. So once the fix is implemented, testing becomes crucial. Thereafter, retest the issue and run regression tests. After receiving a fix, I retest the defect to confirm that the fix is working correctly. Run regression tests to ensure that the fix hasn't introduced new issues in other areas of the application. Finally, before closing the defect, I perform thorough validation. Lastly, close the defect only after thorough validation. Before marking the defect as closed, I Validate the fix across different scenarios to ensure the issue is fully resolved. If required, business stakeholders review and approve the resolution. Why is this a strong approach? 1. It demonstrates a structured and methodical approach to defect handling. 2. Highlights communication and problem-solving skills by showing collaboration with developers. 3. Shows practical experience with defect management tools like Jira, which is widely used in the industry. Okay. Now next is, why do you want to join this company? This question is a great opportunity to show your enthusiasm for the role and demonstrate that you have researched the company. Many candidates make the mistake of giving a generic answer, but the best approach is to personalize your response based on the company's values, goals, and projects. How to structure your answer. I admire your company for its commitment to quality-driven software development and its focus on innovation and automation. The way your team embraces agile methodologies and continuously improves testing strategies aligns perfectly with my own skills and passion for software testing. But what excites me the most about this opportunity is the chance to work with a talented team, contribute to high-quality software development, and continue learning in an environment that values growth and innovation. I believe my experience in manual and automation testing, agile collaboration, and problem solving will allow me to make a meaningful contribution to your team. So why is this a strong answer? First, it shows company research. Also, it aligns personal skills and goals, and it expresses genuine enthusiasm. Next question: how would you test an e-commerce cart? Testing an e-commerce cart is crucial because it is one of the most critical components of an online shopping experience. A single bug can lead to customer frustration and revenue loss. To ensure the cart functions flawlessly, I follow a structured testing approach covering multiple aspects. I start with functional testing to verify that the cart behaves as expected by checking, like adding and removing items to ensure the correct product count. Price calculations, including item totals, taxes, and discounts. Applying and validating promo codes and coupons and ensuring that the checkout process completes without errors. Then UI testing. Since user experience is key, I test the cart's UI by checking responsiveness on different devices, including mobile, tablet, and desktop. Verifying that error messages appear correctly for invalid inputs, such as expired promo codes or unavailable items. Next is API testing. E-commerce carts interact heavily with back-end services, so I validate APIs to ensure cart updates reflect correctly after adding or removing products. The checkout API processes payments securely and returns expected responses. To ensure the cart can handle high user loads, I performed performance testing. For checking the performance, I simulate multiple users adding items simultaneously to check for slowdowns or crashes. Test what happens when a cart has 1,000 plus items to measure system stability. The next, I perform security testing. As we know, security is critical in e-commerce transactions, so I check for SQL injection vulnerabilities by testing different input fields. Ensure unauthorized users cannot access or manipulate another user's cart. Finally, to increase efficiency, I automate repetitive test scenarios using Selenium, which helps in validating add to cart and checkout flows. Running cross-browser tests to ensure consistent behavior across Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. Why is this a strong response? Well, it covers all essential testing types, ensuring a comprehensive approach. It presents a logical structure, making it easy for interviewers to follow. It demonstrates real-world testing knowledge and practical experience with test strategies used in e-commerce applications. This structured approach ensures that the e-commerce cart is fully functional, user-friendly, secure, and scalable. Let's move to next. Next question is, why is automation important in testing? Automation is transforming the way we test software. In today's fast-paced development environment, relying solely on manual testing is no longer enough. To keep up with rapid releases and evolving technology, automation plays a crucial role in ensuring efficiency, accuracy, and scalability. First, it reduces manual effort. Repetitive test cases consume a significant amount of time when executed manually. Instead of spending hours running the same tests, automation allows testers to execute scripts instantly, freeing up valuable time to focus on more complex and exploratory testing tasks. Thereafter, it enhances test coverage. With automation, tests can be executed across multiple environments, browsers, and devices simultaneously. This ensures that the application behaves consistently under different conditions, helping identify issues that might go unnoticed in manual testing. Then, It eliminates human errors. Even the most experienced testers can miss a step or introduce inconsistencies while running manual tests. Automation ensures consistent, accurate, and repeatable results, significantly reducing the chances of oversights and inconsistencies. Next, it speeds up test pipelines. In modern Agile and DevOps environments, continuous testing is a necessity. Automation enables seamless integration of tests into the test pipeline, allowing development teams to release high-quality software faster and more frequently. Finally, it helps teams stay ahead in the competitive market. With increasing customer expectations and tight delivery timelines, companies need to ensure that their software is fast, reliable, and scalable. Automation provides the necessary speed, precision, and efficiency to keep up with industry demands. So in my point of view, automation is no longer just an option. It is a necessity for delivering high-quality software at scale. While manual testing remains essential for exploratory and usability testing, automation ensures that teams can deliver faster, with greater accuracy, and at a larger scale. I hope this helps you ace your interview. Just remember, confidence, clarity, and structured answers will make you stand out.